everyone. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We have Ebony K. Williams. I want to talk about her again with something she recently said that has a lot of Black people, Black women especially, talking. Some say, look at this picture. Some are saying they believe this woman was forced to say this. Her facial expressions you kind of feel that looking at her facial expressions. And we know what she said, that she did not want to date a bus driver, maybe someone who owns the bus company, the bus or whatever. So now Ebony K. Williams is saying that women should be getting married, wedding rings alongside getting their degrees. And I have something to say because I said this months before her and I got cursed out and told off all over social media on a certain platform. And I want to talk about that. I want to play the clip of what she said. Now, a number of us love Ebony K. Williams. She's successful, beautiful, hardworking, and we stood and supported her, and we still do. I don't think I agree with what she's saying, but there's something not being said also. We saw with Tyler Perry, Ayanna Von Sant. Now, Ebony's saying this. Many people are bringing up Kevin Samuels. Oh, he said that you should be getting married when you are, at college, and stuff like that. Here's the thing. You don't propose marriage. Men do. But we're going to get into this conversation, but let me play the clip.
The reality that needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated Black men is so low when compared to Black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 Black women students for every 1 Black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young Black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of Black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision-making instead of on the back half.
First, I want to say that I applaud Ebony as a public figure Black woman saying something that is true, even using herself as an example. But I have to say something. There is something missing that's not being said, and I'm going to say it. She sort of hinted towards it, but she didn't say it, in my opinion. Now, Ebony has dated interracially. I have dated interracially, and I still will date interracially. And maybe she will, maybe she won't. But I also have to say that the Black community helped create this disaster by not raising sons to be marriage-minded. There are a splash of them. Now women my age are suffering. It almost feels like we're being shamed, at least by a lot of men, and these same men don't even get married. So let's stop pretending this is a community of marriage-minded people. There's a few things she mentioned that I wanted to address. Now, a lot of Black women wouldn't get married if their men, if their baby fathers, if their boyfriends asked them. A number of them don't. You date for years, you live together for years, you end up getting pregnant, and marriages, it doesn't come. It's not a priority in this so-called community. So the issue, when she mentioned fertility, we don't have an issue of that. Not saying there are no Black women with those issues. But you get what I'm saying? There's a 70% out of wedlock birth rate. So clearly getting knocked up ain't a problem. The issue is intact families with men who want to get married at a younger age, because Black women end up getting married older. That's the statistics. You can look that up. With men who want to provide and protect and marry. That is the issue. This is a cultural issue. So let's calm down. Let me get my thoughts straight real quick, okay? So the thing is that I said this months ago. I had told Black women to send their daughters to prestigious schools, Ivy League, if she's qualified, where there are multiple men, young men of all cultural backgrounds / races, where she will be around them one time in her life, where you meet some of the best men you will meet who have a future and who come from cultures that believe in getting married. And you know what happened? Young, old, married, Black men, I got told off. I had videos made about me, insulting me, because they were truly upset because I said he did not have to be Black. And I mentioned a certain type of school that they thought I had something against this institution. I don't at all. And I do regret bringing the school up, but I was just trying to make a point. Why send your daughters to a majority all Black girl college when she could be around other groups of men who will be lawyers, doctors, and all types of professions who come from cultures that believe in getting married, and that why not find a husband? And you know what a lot of Black moms and dads told me, and the girls? They told me, we don't send our daughter there for a man. We send them there for education. I didn't go to school for a man. I did not say you couldn't still get a degree. I even said to them then, who said you could not have a man, a husband, meet your soulmate and get your degree? I didn't say you couldn't study and still go on a date. And I brung up how Black women, once you do become up in age, y'all start complaining on social media about why all the white girls were married in their 20s. They were married, and the non-Black girls. And I said, well, a lot of them met their husbands in college, a number of them. But here you are arguing with me and telling me I'm wrong. And how dare I imply to you that her education doesn't matter and she could get a man while she's in school? Make it make sense. So now Ebony is saying it, and I see all these Black women cheering her on, and I'm happy about it. But I just found it amazing how I got cursed out not too long ago when I said the same thing. But the key thing that I said, your husband, for these young Black girls who want their fairy tales, who want to be married with communities of men who believe in marriage, he doesn't have to be a Black man. Yes, some Black guys in college get married. Even Ebony just said it. 7 Black women to 1 Black man on college. Everybody knows, you can look at the statistics, that Black girls in college outnumber Black guys. We even just with the Tyler Perry topic we just talked about, the imbalance with the women being the breadwinners versus the men. And it's not just about money. It's about being yoked with character and culture. I had said months ago, a lot of Black women are not culturally compatible with a number of Black men. I didn't say all of them, but this is a real thing. And that just because someone is Black doesn't mean you're compatible. Get with someone you are attracted to, who you are compatible with. You know, again, I can't make somebody or force somebody to be physically attracted to somebody they're not. But y'all keep asking, what is the answer? They're telling you somewhat the answer, but they're not saying it. She had said that you were going to share a small pool of black men in college who even want to get married or who are in college, period. So using your logic and common sense as educated, smart black girls and women, what does that tell you? That means you would have to date other cultures of men. That is the answer to your problem for a number of you. Now, I had some women talking crap to me on that platform saying, again, well, I didn't go to college for no man. We didn't send her to school for no man. You were so offended. Like, how dare my beautiful young daughter possibly meet a future husband and make connections while at college when she's surrounded by them? Oh, that means she can't study now. Who told you this? I don't get it. But for some reason, my delivery tends to trigger people. But when other people say it is somehow different, you know. But this is the reality. This is the reality. Other cultures of men, that could be, he can be from all types of different places. I didn't say you could not date a black guy who was interested in you in college, but a lot of you tend to date one man and it doesn't go anywhere. Don't put your eggs in one basket. Okay? If he's not serious and is wasting your daughter's time, move on. Make sure you're getting your daughter her education, her, grooming herself, the cute clothes to wear, her health, her weight, her makeup, her etiquette. All of that matters. It does. You don't have to be perfect. You don't. But you're going to have her around different types of men. Get her cultured. Drop the toxic black culture. We know what I'm talking about. You know what it is. You know what it is. And a lot of young black girls do like other cultures / races of men. They just don't always talk about it, or they assume, like one woman in a video who told me, well, they not going for black girls. I'm like, you need to speak for yourself, because I've always attracted non-black men. Your experience is not my experience or the experience of another young black girl who has other men who are not black or black interested in her. And stop deterring them and their self-esteem by already making them think no one would pick you. That's ignorant, because you don't speak for all men or know who likes each other. You don't know this. You don't know what can happen. Okay, she can make friendships. She can do a little bit of flirting. Okay, because a number of them assume you wouldn't even be interested, and a number of you are, and all of that stuff. So again, people brung up Kevin Samuels. He wasn't the first to say it. Anyone with common sense, come on. But I will say this. Men propose marriage. You can't say go out. You can put yourself out there to meet a man and he has to pursue. And you can let him know you're interested and go on some dates and all of that, But a man asks for marriage, and a lot of black guys who are in their 20s, they're not asking for marriage, a number of them. So then when these younger black girls go into their 30s and 40s and still haven't been picked to be a wife, not because she isn't wifey material, but because they're not asking, and some of the girls are settling and becoming baby mamas, then this is what you get. So don't, you know what I'm saying? So also, a man still will approach a woman he finds attractive. I am in my 30s and I attract young men, old men, and men my age all day, every day, because I keep myself up the best I can, and I'm not unattractive to a lot of men. Okay, everybody got their own taste. A man is still going to look at a woman he finds attractive. Now, when she said that as black men age, they become more desirable, I was kind of like, Well, in general, most men are still desirable because they can still have children at any age. And plus, the older a man gets, the more money he tends to build up to provide. But we have a community of men who are saying they don't want to provide, don't give her nothing, don't do this, don't do that, the child support issues, all of this stuff. And a number of black men, when they get older, don't always have anything that would make them marriage material. A number of them have several out of wedlock children, their baby daddies. A number of them are still struggling. Some of them are illiterate. So But the truth is that men still have the advantage over women. We've always known that, and I don't have an issue with dating older men. I've done that before. But, a woman can still have a baby. Okay. If you still have a menstrual cycle, you can still get pregnant. Now, does egg quality, the much older you get, can that be an issue for some women? That's why they have IVF now. That's why they have things to help you. But women in their 30s can still get pregnant. Okay. That happens all the time. Not only that, when she mentioned fertility, well, we all know there's not a fertility issue again in the Black community with the 70% out of wedlock birth rate now. Are a number of young Black girls getting pregnant as much as they used to? Not all the time. The issue, again, is having a culture that promotes functioning, intact families and marriage and everything like that. So, and Black women have been complaining. We have seen the statistics. We know the facts. We've seen the results. And now we see a number of more high profile Black people saying things, but they're missing to say the one thing. And everybody, I've seen people saying on their videos, what's the solution? Y'all know the solution. You just don't want to admit the solution. It's not going to be enough for all Black women. And not all Black women only like Black men. How many times I have to keep saying that? We're not all just attracted to Black men. Stop being afraid and date who the hell you're attracted to, even if he's not Black and he has the qualities you're looking for. Also, we know there are 2 million or 3 million more Black women than men anyway, regardless. So y'all all either going to share the man or y'all going to date some other groups of men. Okay? You don't know what can happen. He could be from any country. If you're attracted to each other and he has the qualities you're looking for, something could happen. It could work out. Okay. So also I find it interesting because I see men always talking about age, a lot of Black men in particularly, but I see a lot of white women who are older getting married, and they have children. Black men are the ones running around like crazy in this country about age, knowing damn well how good a number of Black women look even when they're older, and you're not even marrying the 20-year-olds. So make it make sense. Y'all not marrying them either. And then again, I said, if you don't want to marry women who are older, if all women waited, if you would be waiting some of y'all forever. And then if y'all didn't have kids, then they wouldn't have these young Black girls to be impregnating, who they claim should be the ones to be in line first to get married. Please. I speak this into existence. I'm a good woman. I'm attractive. And I'm going to get married. And I'm going to have my child. Okay? And that's what it is. And ain't nobody going to tell me that I don't deserve it or that I can't have it. Because I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not going to have society or Black society ever make me feel this way, or any of you. But I did tell you the reality is that we do get older. Yeah, we got eggs, and that, you do have to speed up if you can, meeting men, dating men, so that if you want to get married, that's the key word, then it can happen for you. It's not a game. And Ebony is kind of saying that, like, look, I'm 40. This is serious. This is not a game. You have to calculate how old will I be when my child is this, what's my egg quality, all this other stuff. But you cannot make men marry you, but you can date men and let them know that you want to be married, not play games and not waste time for a very long time with men who are not serious about it, and also open up your dating pool. That's pretty much what I wanted to say. But the key thing is that what Tyler didn't say, what Ebony is not saying, what Ayana didn't say. Now, Ebony she's dated interracially, okay, before. But when she mentioned, okay, there's 7 of you to 1 Black man on college campuses, you want to get married, but she didn't mention, maybe you should be talking to some other guys of different races, cultures on that college campus, okay? Step your game up if you got to. Ladies, you know how I feel. Being your best self on all levels. If you got to get a makeover, do it. If you are holding on to toxic things within the culture, just don't bring Blackistan over to the swirl. I mean, I might do a whole video on that. You have to heal your mind. You have to expand your mind, and you got to let go of certain things for it to work. Period. You know, and set a goal. You might say, you know what? Maybe some of you just want a black man. Okay, maybe you might say, okay, I'm 20 years old. I would like to be married at 26 at least. Okay, I'm going to it. This is for the women because I know y'all out here. You might say, well, I'll exclusively date black men for until I'm 24. Multiple dates, find my husband. If that's what you wanted, if he was black and it still doesn't happen, then you might think, you know what? Okay, after 24, I said I want to be married at 27. Okay, I'm going on some dates with the different ethnicities, cultures, races of men, you know, and see what happens. Personally, I just think just date multiple at any age, but y'all do what you gonna do. I've come to the conclusion it's going to be what it's going to be. You know, if the disaster continues, it's just going to continue. Some black women will wake up and others won't. And some will settle. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I refuse to continue to see black women, beautiful black women, be shamed and a community act like this is some community that promotes marriage at large. And we know that's not true. You can't force a man to marry you. You can't force the culture to change if the men don't want to change. I told you it's not going to work when the women are one way and the men are opposite. It's a disaster, you know? And a lot of women who bring up the Bible in church talking about being equally yoked. Well, a number of you are not equally yoked culturally within this culture, and you know it. So expand. But some of you will and some of you won't. I'm not going to force it or try to promote forcing it. Y'all do what you do. And I wish a lot of you luck and well, and all of us, you know, whatever happens is going to happen. You know, that's how it's going to be, you know. So I just wanted to share this video with you, and I can't wait to hear your opinions down below. I cannot wait. What do you think? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you know when I make these videos, when I upload, and when I go live. Yes, my epic live call-in shows. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone. Have a good day. Love you.